Okay, so this is the first day of the PDAC 2023 in Toronto, the biggest mining show in the world. And we're happy to be back in person. It's been 2 years for us because of the pandemic, of course. And we're using it to catch up, among other things, with Element 29 Resources with the CEO, Steve. Please help me with the pronunciation.
Stakiw. Yeah,
Stakiw.
Yeah, Steve Stakiw.
Steve Stakiw of, I've seen it written down,
yes,
but I haven't pronounced it much. Of Element 29 Resources, advanced copper explorer, let's say, with two big projects or very nice projects in Peru. And we're going to talk about that and start with the Elida Project, I think, where you had a resource out last year.
Absolutely, thank you, Björn. Yeah, with our projects in Peru, we're fortunate to have what we think are two flagship or co-flagship projects. At our Elida Project, which is just north of Lima, up the coast at low elevation, and in close proximity to significant infrastructure as well. We just late last year we put out our initial resource estimate on just one of 5 identified porphyry centers on the program. But it's a pretty significant initial mineral resource. We delineated an inferred resource of over 320 million tons of 0.32% copper, 0.03% molybdenum, which is actually quite high-grade molybdenum, and 2.6 grams per ton silver as well. Just the copper alone, so if you look at the contained copper in that inferred resource, that's about 2.2 billion pounds of contained copper, or over 1 million tons. So that's we see that as a great springboard. That's an initial resource. We see great potential to continue to grow that within Zone 1, but also on the other porphyry systems that we've identified on the project. So what we've done is, subsequent to that resource coming out late last year, we commenced a phase 2 drill program at Elida as well. That program wrapped up at the end of last year. And the drill results from that program actually are quite successful. We encountered very long mineralized holes of high-grade copper within that definitely show the strength of the copper system that is there, and definitely potential to grow that resource further going forward. So we're greatly encouraged. It's for us, it's a great first step, and we see the potential to continue to grow Elida going forward.
Well, thank you very much. So that's something to look forward to in the nearish term, let's say, for the drill results?
Exactly.
Okay, great to know. And that's only one of the 2 projects in Peru, though, and the other is Flor de Cobre.
Exactly. Yeah. At our Flor de Cobre project is our other very active project. It's located down in the south of Peru. We're in the southern Peru copper belt, which is a very prolific copper producing jurisdiction, probably one of the top producing districts globally. The project again is at lower elevation, close to infrastructure, paved highways, power, workforce. As you drive from the city of Arequipa, which is the second largest in Peru, to our project, just over an hour's drive, you drive past Freeport's big copper mine, Cerro Verde, which is the world's 6th largest copper mine, which is a neighbor of ours. So I think we're in a very, very good location. And we have two copper porphyry systems identified on our project area. The more advanced one is called Candelaria. And at Candelaria, there's been a historic resource there from the 1990s. We did additional drill work at Candelaria last year, and that was a successful program. We drilled 12 holes, about 4,500 meters of drilling. And a lot of that was to validate and confirm some of that historic drilling, but then we did some deeper drilling as well. So greatly encouraged, and the data from that drill program is going into a new resource estimate that we currently have underway. So I expect that'll be out in Q2 of this year. So we're excited to get that out, and that'll further build our copper inventory in terms of what Element 29 has as in delineated resources. So that's going to be I think a big catalyst and a big milestone for Element 29 to deliver. Additionally, the other big target that we have is called Atravesado. It's a large copper mineralized porphyry center on the property as well. And it's got a big footprint. It's about a 1.5 kilometer diameter system, big porphyry system. And it's never had actually any direct drilling, which is quite unique and rare to have a copper mineralized body like that in the southern Peru copper belt that's never seen any active drilling. I think that's got a lot of people excited. We are in the process of permitting that now. I'm anticipating permits hopefully to be in hand by mid-year, but we anticipate and we certainly plan to try and get a drill program underway in the latter half of this year. But that one has that's potentially a company changer. If we're successful on that one and successful in the drill program and show that it's a significant copper mineralized porphyry system, the size alone is quite significant. The footprint of that is very similar to the size of the ore bodies at Cerro Verde, just about 24 kilometers northwest along the same trend of rocks. So the real potential is there. So that's what we see as a huge potential catalyst and milestone going forward as well.
Okay, well, so 2023 should be another very interesting year for you, because of course 2022 or this year also saw some political upheavals in Peru, which a couple of companies have told me didn't affect the mining industry as such a lot.
Not so much. We had no issues whatsoever. We continue to operate on our projects with no incidents, nothing alarming. I think largely things are calming down again in Peru, which we've all gone through this in the past. Peru understands mining is a big component of their economy. The communities, the local communities and the government recognize that it's a significant driver of the country. So, mining activity has continued largely unencumbered within the country.
Good to hear. So to sum up, give us just a short version. What's going to happen in 2023 at Element 29? Yeah,
I think this year for 2023, it's executing and delivering on our resource estimate on the Candelaria zone at Flor de Cobre and drilling at Atravesado. I think from a corporate perspective, where we're at, the markets have been tough. I think I don't think we're getting the value recognition out there. If you look at what we currently have as a copper resource at Elida, that 2.2 billion pounds, our current market cap is only really valuing us at about a half a cent per pound in the ground. I track a lot of the peers, in the copper space. Many of them are kind of in the 1 to 3 cent a pound, valuation range. So, in light of that and our potential to add, materially to that copper inventory with the next resource estimate coming out from the Candelaria zone, I certainly see an opportunity for us to re-rate in terms of evaluation out there as well.
Thank you very much.